My heart stopped when the HOA lady spit on Emma's face. My little girl cried in her wheelchair as spit ran down her cheek. This mean woman smiled until I told her I work for Child Protection Services. She didn't know who she was messing with. Now she will pay for hurting my disabled daughter. Before watching full video, comment below from where you watching. Also like and subscribe for more stories. We moved to Oakwood Village just 5 days ago. Emma and I needed a fresh start after her dad left us. Emma is 11 and has cerebral palsy. She uses a wheelchair but never complains. Her smile makes everyone happy. I took the job transfer here because this house has no stairs and wide doorways, perfect for Emma's wheelchair. That Tuesday morning started so nice. Emma wanted to put her seashell collection on our front porch. These shells mean everything to her. Her grandpa gave them to her before he died last year. She sorts them by color and size. It calms her when she feels sad. Of course you can, sweetheart, I said. This is our home now. I went inside to get more boxes. Then I heard a loud, angry voice outside. What is this junk? Remove it now. I ran out and saw a woman standing over Emma. She wore expensive clothes and had perfect hair. Her fingernails were painted bright red. Emma's shells were knocked over, many broken on the ground, and she was crying. Please don't touch my shells, Emma begged. They're special to me. The woman's face turned red. I don't care. This neighborhood has rules. No junk on porches. No wheelchairs in public view. No ramps without permission. I was still walking toward them when it happened. The woman's face twisted with hate. She leaned down and spit right in Emma's face. Actual spit landing on my baby's cheek and in her hair. Emma froze. Her eyes filled with tears as spit dripped down her face. Her hands gripped her wheelchair arms so tight her knuckles turned white. Something broke inside me. I ran to them faster. What did you just do? I screamed. The woman looked at me like I was dirt. I'm Deborah Miller, HOA president. You need to learn the rules or leave. Her disability doesn't give her special rights. You people always want special treatment. I wiped Emma's face with my sleeve. My hands were shaking with anger. Emma was sobbing now. You just spit on a disabled child? I said, trying to stay calm. That's assault. Deborah laughed. Don't be dramatic. Now clean up this mess and remove those ugly ramps from your porch. They're not approved. I'll be fining you $100 per day until they're gone. Those ramps stay. They're ADA required, I said, pulling out my phone. My voice was ice cold. Who are you calling? She asked, still smirking. The police, I answered. My name is Sarah Johnson. I'm a Child Protective Services investigator. I just transferred to the local office last week. I investigate people who abuse children for a living. Her face changed. That moment was so sweet. Her smirk disappeared and her eyes got wide. I'm reporting you for assaulting my disabled daughter, I continued, voice steady. Emma was still crying. I held her hand while talking to 911. Neighbors came out of their houses to watch. Some had phones out, recording everything. You have no idea who I am, Deborah threatened. My husband is the top lawyer in this town. We can make your life miserable. No, you have no idea who I am, I fired back. I've spent 10 years protecting children from abusive adults. I know every judge in this county. I know every disability law by heart. And I have witnesses who just saw you spit on my daughter. The police came fast. Officer Rodriguez took Emma and me aside while Officer Bennett talked to Deborah. Emma was still shaking. The officer gave her a teddy bear from his car. This is Officer Teddy, he said kindly. He helps brave kids feel better. While they took statements, neighbors gathered around us telling me stories. She made the Wilson family remove their son's therapy swing, one neighbor whispered. Their boy has autism and needed it to calm down. She fined the Lopez family for their autism awareness flag, said another. They have twins with special needs. She told my daughter her wheelchair was lowering property values, an older woman added. My Lisa cried for days. The officer came back after talking to witnesses. Ma'am, would you like to press charges for assault? Yes, I said firmly. Emma squeezed my hand. All of them. Deborah's face turned white when Officer Bennett explained she was being charged with assault on a minor, with possible hate crime charges for targeting a disabled child. This is crazy. I'm calling my husband, he's a lawyer, she yelled as they put her in the police car. I'll sue all of you. I'll have your job. She pointed at me. Your crippled brat doesn't belong here anyway. The neighbors gasped. Officer Bennett said, That's enough, ma'am, and closed the car door. Good idea, call your husband, I called after her. Tell him to read up on the Americans with Disabilities Act. And maybe find a good criminal defense lawyer too. That night, after Emma finally fell asleep hugging Officer Teddy, I sat on our porch picking up broken shell pieces. I cried thinking about the fear in my daughter's eyes. My phone kept buzzing with texts from neighbors offering support and sharing stories about Deborah's years of bullying. Mrs. Garcia from next door brought over cookies and sat with me. "We've all been afraid of her for years," she admitted. "No one dared stand up to her. Thank you for being brave." The next morning I called my new boss at CPS. "I need to step back from any cases involving Deborah Miller," I explained. "There's a conflict now." My boss sighed. "The HOA tyrant? We've had complaints about her before. 3 families with disabled children reported feeling threatened by her, but no one would officially file charges. They were too scared of retaliation." "Well, she picked the wrong mom this time," I said. 3 days later, I stood at an emergency HOA meeting in the community center. The room was packed. People were standing against walls and sitting on the floor. Deborah's husband sat in the back looking angry as I spoke to everyone. "Yesterday, Mrs. Miller was served with a restraining order keeping her 500 feet away from my daughter," I announced. "Today, I'm filing a formal complaint against this HOA for breaking disability laws. I've documented 26 violations so far." The room burst into loud applause. Mr. Chin, an elderly man with a cane, slowly stood up. "I move to remove Deborah Miller as HOA president right now." Everyone voted yes. Not one person supported her. Deborah's husband stormed out, slamming the door. They elected Mr. Chin as the new temporary president. His first act was to cancel all disability-related fines and approve all pending accessibility modifications. The next week, someone left flowers on our porch with a note. "Thank you for standing up to her. We've been scared for years." 2 days later, more neighbors brought food and cards. One family brought their son in a wheelchair to meet Emma. They had kept him inside for months because Deborah had mocked him at the park, calling him an eyesore. Emma made her first real friend that day. They played board games for hours. As word spread through town, more people came forward. 15 families had been bullied by Deborah for having disabled family members. 3 had actually moved away because of her. The local TV news did a story called HOA Discrimination Exposed. The district attorney called me. "We're adding harassment charges based on new witness statements. This case is getting bigger. 5 more families want to file complaints." Deborah's lawyer husband stopped defending her when their law firm started losing clients. No one wanted a lawyer who supported disability discrimination. He issued a public apology and announced he would be doing free legal work for disability rights groups to make amends. 1 month after the incident, something amazing happened. 30 neighbors showed up at our house with a surprise. They had collected money and built a beautiful weatherproof display case for Emma's shells, with a sign saying, "Emma's treasures, all welcome here." Emma cried happy tears. "Mom, I think we have real friends now." They also brought replacement shells for the ones Deborah broke. Some families had gone to the beach just to find special ones for Emma. Deborah's court date came 6 weeks later. She pleaded not guilty, but 3 people had videos of her spitting on Emma. The judge, who has a granddaughter with Down syndrome, was not sympathetic. Deborah was found guilty of assault on a minor, harassment, and intimidation. Her sentence: 300 hours of community service at the local disability center, a $10,000 fine paid to disability rights groups, mandatory sensitivity training, and 2 years probation. The courtroom was packed with neighborhood families. When the judge announced the verdict, people cheered. Emma smiled for the first time since that horrible day. But that wasn't all. Our civil lawsuit against Deborah personally and the HOA went forward. The disability rights lawyers took our case for free. They said it could change how HOAs treat disabled residents everywhere. They found records showing Deborah had targeted disabled residents for years, creating special appearance rules just to harass them. 6 months after moving in, our neighborhood was completely transformed. The HOA rules were rewritten to be fair to everyone. Therapy equipment was allowed in yards. Support flags could be displayed proudly. Ramps were approved instantly. A special accessibility committee was formed, and half its members had disabilities. Emma started a friendship club for kids with and without disabilities. 20 children joined the first week. By the second month, there were 45 members. They had playdates, movie nights, and craft sessions. The community pool that had been too complicated to make accessible suddenly got a proper ramp and lift chair. The neighborhood raised the money in 1 weekend. The park that was too difficult to modify got new playground equipment that all children could use, including special swings for wheelchairs. Deborah's husband filed for divorce. He told reporters he never knew how cruel she had been until he saw it in court. He donated money to build a sensory garden in the neighborhood park and named it after Emma. Our story made national news. Other neighborhoods started reviewing their HOA rules for discrimination. 3 states proposed new laws making it illegal for HOAs to discriminate against people with disabilities. Last week I was at my desk at CPS when my boss called me in. The state wants to create a new position, disability rights advocate for foster children. They want you to lead it. You'll help make sure disabled kids in the system get proper care and accommodations. I accepted immediately. Now I can help even more children like Emma. Yesterday, Emma had a big party at our house. 20 kids came, 9 in wheelchairs or with other disabilities. They laughed and played games in our backyard. Parents who once kept their disabled children hidden at home now proudly brought them to playdates. "Mom," Emma said later as I tucked her in, "that mean lady did us a favor. She brought everyone together. Sometimes bad things lead to good things." As for Deborah, she moved 3 towns away after her divorce. I heard she tells people she was forced out by troublemakers. But everyone knows the truth. The local paper did a follow-up story called, "How One Brave Girl Changed a Community." The HOA has a new permanent president now, Mr. Chin, who uses a cane and has a grandson with autism. His first official act was to rename our street Inclusion Way. His second act was to create a special community day celebrating diversity. Emma and I walk down Inclusion Way every day. People wave and smile. Children say hello. No one stares at her wheelchair anymore. They just want to know which new shell she found at the beach last weekend and if they can come to the next friendship club meeting. Sometimes terrible moments lead to wonderful changes. Sometimes a cruel person's actions end up helping the very people they tried to hurt. And sometimes, justice comes when you least expect it, when a mean HOA Karen spits on a disabled girl, not knowing her mother has spent her whole career fighting for children just like her. Emma doesn't have nightmares anymore. Instead, she dreams of becoming a disability rights lawyer. "I want to help other kids like me," she says. "I want to make sure nobody can be mean to them just because they're different." I couldn't be prouder of my brave, beautiful daughter. The neighborhood is having a big block party next Saturday to celebrate 1 year since the Great HOA Revolution, as people call it. Everyone is invited, especially families with disabled members who felt unwelcome before. There will be accessible games, sensory-friendly quiet zones, and sign language interpreters. Emma will give a speech. She's nervous but excited. She's been practicing for weeks. Last night she practiced it for me one more time. Her final words made me cry happy tears. One person tried to make me feel small and broken. But instead she made me realize how strong I am. Now our neighborhood shows that everyone belongs, everyone matters. Sometimes bad people help create good communities, by showing us exactly what we don't want to be. I used to be scared of people staring at me. Now I know that I matter. My voice matters. And if someone is mean to you because you're different, stand up tall. You have the right to be here too. My daughter is wise beyond her years. And our story isn't over yet. Emma and I are just getting started. That horrible moment when a mean woman spit on my little girl turned into something beautiful, a community where everyone belongs. And it all started because a cruel HOA Karen didn't know she was spitting on the daughter of someone who fights for children's rights for a living. Sometimes justice comes in surprising ways.